People keep saying the future of VR, well, XR or AR or whatever the heck nonsense term they're calling it. And inside of this, we have one of those futures. Fancy and beautiful already. We've got the Tozo I don't actually know. Vizo Z1 Pro AR glasses. That's a lot to say. Let's check them out. Boom, micro OLED, 6,000 nits peak brightness. I think I actually saw an update, it's 1,500 nits eye brightness. And then the package says 1,000 eye brightness, but I'm not sure why there's a difference between peak brightness and eye brightness, I don't know. Ultra contrast, 200,001, 120 hertz refresh rate, dual 1080p, basically real RGB displays, 160-inch virtual screen, USB-C, 3 degrees of freedom for VR/stream play. I didn't actually know they did any sort of VR or anything. I thought they'd just be like, most of these just a screen inside. And apparently, you get the most immersive experience with a set of Tozo headphones, so I actually ordered a premium set of theirs on Amazon. I did have to buy those and they won't be here for a few days, so today we're just gonna get these things out of the box, play around with them, start learning a little bit. Next week we'll be able to do some real testing. Very shiny outer box, very pretty, very reflective. Layers and layers here. So that is a light, I gotta say. A cleaning cloth and a USB-C cable. Not a lot of accessories, but maybe you don't need much. Man, these are lightweight. So we played around with a few of these on the channel, but it's been a while. Do they pass for normal glasses on the street? Now, one problem I have with a lot of these, they're like glasses, but they're heavier, they're chunkier, they're thicker, and they don't necessarily have a lot of adjustment point. So like for someone like me and like most people whose ears aren't perfectly even, they droop to the side a little bit on one side. And you can't really do much about that because I'll push it up and it'll just kind of fall back down. But obviously we can get the manual and we can go online and we can learn that, but let's just see. I have a feeling if I just plug and play these into my phone, especially because it's an Android, it's not gonna do anything. But just out of curiosity, let's try it. The last pair of AR glasses that I used the most, like had so many connections, you had to have so many things and batteries and stuff, it was just so much. And they're getting lighter, they're getting easier. One cord, I mean, like switching from this controlling to this controlling, if it'll let me. Come on, couldn't switch. I'll try one other thing real quick while we're here, so hang on, I'll be right back. Ow. Now, the last time I played with a set of these, with the Switch 1, I had to have a battery in line and all these adapters, and it wasn't easy. But I tried that same set that I had on a Steam Deck, and it instantly worked, in the hopes that maybe these things will just plug and play. Now using a USB mic, it's registering as a microphone. I thought I heard something out of it. I'm gonna grab an iPhone as one last ditch effort, and at that point, if we still don't see anything inside, then we will take these away for a little bit and figure them out. Okay, we're trying the only iPhone we could find in the studio with a USB-C. Oh my gosh, I see a phone screen. We've got adjusters on the sides here, so I'm just trying to get it clear because I'm definitely having a little bit of I had like a double screen issue when I first saw it, but wow. Can you see from anything from the outside out there? Can you, I don't know if there's any way the camera's gonna pick up, but can you kind of like, if you were to look at these, can you tell what I'm doing in here? So it's pretty clear from the outside. All right, wow, first impressions, just plug and play. If you have an iPhone, it's kind of working. It keeps blacking out, but so far I'm intrigued. We'll take these away for a minute. We'll learn some more about them. We'll get back at you so you don't have to see me sitting here fumbling with them. So we'll be back.
1 week later.
So we are back, of course, because I use a Motorola like a weirdo, which is not mainstream enough. It hasn't wanted to work with mine natively, like just plugging it in and stuff. There are apps and all that, but I don't want to mess with that yet. I just want to get the most organic experience. So to keep things organic and real, my reactions and everything, I've actually had some of the other guys around the studio, New Guy Quinn and Noah, messing with it, and I haven't really spent much time back in it at all. But this is a Samsung, this is the Fold, this is Quinn's phone. Apparently this one does let you just plug and play, USB in, connect it for external display, and we are in. And you can tell this wasn't adjusted to my eyes. I feel like there's like a weird moment every time I put these on where like my eyes take a minute to get it all adjusted. But what I really need is I need like an ear spacer above this ear to like level these things out, because they always drop down and you can't get them to stay there because there's not any rubber or anything. So for me, it is slightly crooked, but it's okay. I can still read like clearly. Meta and EssilorLuxottica discuss doubling or tripling smart glass production. Resident Evil Code Veronica remake already planned. Team Group GE Pro 2 terabyte SSD review from Tom's Hardware. Like, I gotta say, the screen, the brightness might be all the way up right now, I'm guessing, because like if I look at this next to the phone, it is so bright and clear in here. And even if I try and look outside of the glasses, like like it's still brighter and clearer in the glasses than on the phone. As far as size, so when you're seeing a screen, like what size is it? So right now, if I go right there, so this distance, that's pretty much the same size in the headset as it is on the screen. The ratios aren't exactly the same, but that pretty much looks like the screen's on top of the phone, at least by one eye. So he said if you open this, oh wow, yeah, it gives you the whole thing. Now, the one thing that's weird about this versus just a normal phone experience that's different is right now I see the phone, I can move and swipe, but I don't see where my fingers look. It doesn't show a tap on there. So like if you were to tell me, looking at this right now, go tap your Google Voice button, I have to just like guess where it is on the phone. Like I think it's maybe right there. Oh, I was close. So, and that's, if you've never used glasses like this, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, when you're looking at a phone, it's very easy to be like, oh, there's a button, I'm gonna press it. But if you have this up here and you're like hiding your phone away, like it's not easy to think exactly, like I can hit a big panel, but like a specific button, I need to look back at the phone and then be like, but if I look right at it, I've now brought my digital screen in the way again, so I like have to keep it over here and then touch this. And so it kind of just begs the question of like, why? It's weird how much, is this brightness on this phone? No, the brightness on the phone is like all the way up. It is so bright in these glasses versus the real phone IRL. That is weird. So let's try YouTube. So far with Samsungs and with iPhones, oh, we got audio coming through the headset now too. Man, I've gotta say the in-headset experience of the screen, the brightness, the contrast is like so much better than looking at the phone. Dating apps.
You wish.
Funny, I'm guessing new guy Quinn edited this so he knows what I'm talking about right now, but it's some random video. Copyright. So right now, we haven't gotten too far into these, but basically what we're doing is we're messing with phones, kind of seeing what the experience is different. I guess the big question with what I'm trying right now though is why? Like I can still see everything on the phone, and obviously not everyone has a phone this freaking gigantic, so you might get a better experience. We're not like saving battery power because the phone display isn't turned off either. Like if it was only in here, your phone would last longer on a plane or something, but right now it's like I've got two screens, like what's the point? He said if I open the Dex app, which comes with this naturally, it's like on the phone mobily or natively, then I can get a whole different, I can get a whole different experience. The one thing I always feel like happens with these glasses, I always feel like I want the screen right there. So now I have like what looks like I have a mouse pad that I can move and click. So this feels a lot more natural. Where I was saying before, you couldn't touch something on the screen and see what you're seeing. Now it's really just like a trackpad on a laptop. So now I don't even need to have this in view. I can sit here and go to this, and I can open Quentin's messages and read them all. Open YouTube. Oh, and two fingers does the mouse pad. I can scroll. Bro does not have a single JayBratt video in his recommended. You know why? Because he's watched all of them, that means. Good job. Ooh, I'm gonna watch the video of me trying these. So when you do this again, now we got audio coming through the phone though, for some reason, and not through the headset. Man, videos do look good though. They look so crisp. So I went to the search bar on YouTube, and now it gives me a keyboard on here. So again, I need to be able to see this. I'm gonna pull up a 4K video that I watch on TVs a lot when I'm testing them to kind of get a comparison of what this looks like to something that I've seen a lot. The audio not being in the headset's gonna fuck up my experience a little bit, of course. No. Go full screen, okay. This is so interesting because it's like full screening inside. This is actually a little disorienting, like in a good way, like it's actually affecting me. Technically, I believe these are a 1080p, so we're not actually gonna get native 4K in here. I feel like because of my head shape, this isn't the fault of the glasses, but I showed Assassin 32 a set of glasses, not these ones, but an older set I had, and he said the same thing. It's like to get the perfect image, instead of being on top of your ears, you kind of open them and put them down on your ears, and this feels like just right. That's where these glasses do need to get more adjustability, because per head shapes and ear levels and stuff, everybody's different, because like right there is exactly where I want the screen to be. It's perfectly in my vision. It's perfectly even, but if I go up on my ears, not only do I get this crooked thing going on, I want the image to be, like I want it to be just a little high, like it's cutting off the very bottom of the screen here. But if I do this, it's perfect. Damn, video quality is impressive. I wish the audio was coming through here right now. Is there any options to adjust anything on here? No. Well, so interestingly now, if I open a video or something, so let's say you open a long movie or something in YouTube and do this, now I've got the movie here, although the audio is still coming through this, but now I have full control of the phone again. So that does open up some area for productivity. Like let's say there's a training or something you need to watch, you go put it up here. If you're, on a plane or in a cafe or something, you don't have room for a bunch of stuff, and now you can get back on your phone and do stuff down here with your peripheral vision while having this up here. You can split view in the glasses as well, Quinn says. That's cool.
Do they offer penis reduction surgery?
That was not what I expected when I tried to just use the video skip buttons to see. Well, so far so good. It's much more user-friendly if you have the right phone, I'm seeing. It is plug and play. It doesn't feel native to the phone, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't feel like the phone knows what to do. It feels like you're hacking a little bit to mess with the phone and do stuff. And it's not bad by any means, but it just seems like if you plugged them in and it switched to a touchpad, you had the screen inside your phone, no longer displayed the whole screen to save power, like that would feel like native support. It definitely doesn't feel native, but the next steps, I really want to get a console running. I really want to get the Switch running. I got to be on a long plane ride next month, probably to Japan. We're gonna figure out a lot more and get back to you with more on this review, but so far, if you have the right phone, Samsung or an iPhone, and you just plug and play it from the start, you're probably gonna be like 5 minutes out the box, you're gonna be having a good time with these. But I will also see what it takes to get it running on my phone and stuff too. So we'll get back to you with more thoughts soon.
This is with my phone and I'm looking at it through the glasses.
I don't know if I'm still recording, but you can see me wearing the glasses. See the glasses, so you can see the same video in the glasses.
So amazingly, with how bright these things get, I keep dying because I'm getting distracted reviewing them instead of playing. What the hell am I playing, Noah? Vampire Survivors. Even in this direct sunshine, it is winter sunshine, but it's still direct. I mean, the sun is up in the sky. I can still see just fine, but there's a lot of weird things about these glasses. You're not really supposed to be walking around with them like we are, but you start to realize the more you use them in public or what you're doing, like right now I see the screen very clearly, but my eyes are focusing on that screen. So if I try and look through them and look at a car or something in the distance or where I'm going, all of a sudden it doubles. Just like if you have your phone in front of your face and then you look out in the distance, your phone would double because your eyes separate. And so the things like that, you just don't think about it with a screen, especially like a double screen. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just an interesting factor to kind of consider as you're messing with this headset. And it makes you realize those headsets only have one inside and one side. You don't ever have that issue because there's only one. It doesn't double between your eyes. But with that, you get a nice stereoscopic effect. It looks really good. This also has a 3D mode that you can get to by holding the volume down button so that you can actually watch like VR 180 stuff. Well, maybe not VR, but at least like side-by-side video in 3D and see it for real. And then also, if I'm just listening to music and there's a YouTube music video, but I want to like focus in, if I hold the volume up button, it turns the screen off, but I still have audio. So right now I still hear the gameplay happening. So then that way, if you are watching a music video and you just want to switch back and forth, you can do that and it just turns it off. Now using it with the Steam Deck, there's a couple of extra things that are great. It feels like these glasses are made for the Steam Deck and the Steam Deck is made for these glasses. The glasses save so much battery power by not running this giant OLED screen. You can use it way longer, but also this and other ones I've tried, they plug and play instantly. Unlike most things, you don't need an app, you don't need to change anything. You just plug it in and you've got video instantly in a second. If the screen turns off on this, so it's not wasting battery power, doubling them up. It really feels like if you've got a Steam Deck, you need a pair of these glasses. But a couple considerations, especially coming from Assassin32, who's back there in the background, who's played with these a lot with the Steam Deck. What you don't realize about how you play with a Steam Deck or a TV, when you look at a TV and you're playing Grand Theft Auto, you got your little HUD or your little mini map in the corner, you turn your head and look down at that. You have to retrain yourself with these glasses. You can't move your head. The screen always stays exactly where my head is looking. I have to learn to use my eyes instead. It's an adjustment. It's not bad, but it's different.
I don't like change.
So you're not just gonna put these on instantly like, oh, it's just a TV and it's normal TV behavior. You learn to keep your head straight and the screen's always there. A lot of considerations, it's a little unusual, but once you get used to it, having this, like instead of having to sit here and hold this way up or like look down at it, or this is perfect, amazing. After much time spent, if you're in a hurry and you gotta go, I'm very excited to have these. Doesn't mean they're not without some cons. Obviously, they are an expense, and to a lot of people, still a luxury. Something like these are not something you necessarily need, and most devices you're connecting them to already have a screen, whether you're connecting to a Steam Deck or a Switch or your laptop, your phone. But what they do offer beyond that is pretty awesome. And for me personally, especially with a lot of traveling that I do, maybe in some international flights coming up, I am thrilled to have these and to be able to use them, especially on a plane, sit back and not worry about holding my phone up. If it doesn't have a screen in front of me, just be able to watch stuff, play games. You can tell that there's still new technology and not everything is instantly compatible. One of the big things that surprised me is plug them into a laptop. You get a second screen, you've got one up here, you can still see the other one through the bottom of the glasses. Productivity, watching stuff, battery power that can be saved on your laptop or your, you can kill the screen on the laptop and just use these instead of the whole monitor, make it last way longer. The Steam Deck though is super cool with these. And it saves a bunch of battery life. We talked about that already. It's actually got me thinking about getting a Steam Deck, just having these, because the one thing I really wish that any of these, this isn't these glasses in particular, but they made the Switch 2 very incompatible with these things in general so far, and we haven't been able to find many that you can use the Switch 2 with. But the Switch 1, works great with them. For those of you here who are mostly here for VR and are wondering, are these things the future? Are these things the future of VR? It feels like they're a stepping stone to what we're looking for with other glasses that will have more capability, more sensors. But these even have some VR mode with 3 degrees of freedom. It's nothing like, you know, a full VR headset, but it shows that they're starting to bridge the gap and getting there, which is super exciting to me. I'm happy with these. I'm definitely keeping them. I'm definitely using them on these upcoming trips, traveling. Glasses wearers that I show these to can just adjust these knobs and have them work for them. The only other con is, I did mention this earlier, my ears are a little crooked. I wish there was a spacer. I wish there was some sort of way to adjust these arms down, because I'd be able to adjust this one down like 1 click and they'd sit evenly, and I'd be able to adjust them both down another click, and I would have just a little bit more of a perfect angle on the inside, I've got to say. But ultimately, from all the ones I've tested so far, these are my absolute favorite. I'm excited to use them for the future. What about you? Have you tried any of these yet? Are you here trying to decide? Because there's a lot of pairs, a lot of ranges, a lot of features different. Keep an eye out. We'll probably be checking out more of them on the channel. But right now, the Vizo Z1 Pros, good audio. If you do get their Tozo earbuds, they're even high-res certified with them, a great audio experience. I don't even know what the heck we're calling these things at this point. They're like a giant in-glasses display more than anything else. But for a first foray into it, good job, Tozo. If you want to check them out yourself, look for the links down below. We'll see if we can get you any kind of discount links or anything over to them, but check them out there. Take your own look. Thank you for being here with me once again. And I'll see you in another reality.